Midnight Mythos, new American horror told in a single breath. Tonight, the last crate of Carfax. I bought the crate because the manifest misspelled its own ghost, Carfax, and because the unit on Communipaw Ave smelled like wet dirt after a funeral. A bargain is a bargain, even when it's nailed shut from the inside. The lot manager shrugged. British freight, 1890s, never claimed. Wood black, where a coffin would be. I film resales for my channel, Liberty State Park finds. 12,000 subs and mean comments about my hands. This time, I kept the camera low, in case the crate breathed. Stencils, Whitby for origin, Carfax for destination. A faint note, soil required. Who ships soil like medicine? The lid was nailed in a cruciform. Ritual, not carpentry. I told myself some people are superstitious. I told myself lovely lies. Ledger inside, handwriting like a fever. Dates, 1897. Names misbehaving on the page. Demeter Harker. A note. Earth in transit, sanctified against light. Under the ledger, tarred lining full of damp, dark soil, and something paler beneath it, like knuckles. I closed it. I absolutely closed it. Flip time. I told the camera, buy low, sell higher. Still, I booked a morning run to Liberty State Park. Keep it by wind and salt and sun. Night fell like a lid. Strip lights died in order. That was when the rats came. They ignored the chip bag in the bin. They ringed the crate, noses up, inhaling like worship. One by one, they lay down, listening. I left. Lock, door, hallway, streetlight. At Communipaw, in the black water smell, my breath fogged and hung there and wouldn't leave my mouth. Quick breath, no joke. If you can hear me, hit subscribe now and comment, not invited. It keeps the threshold closed and tells me you're still awake. Tap like so more of us hear this before dawn. Dawn over Liberty State Park paints Manhattan like teeth. I tell the camera, historical unbox. Lady Liberty watches like a warning. Rule 1, if it wants to be inside, keep it outside. Rule 2, never open what remembers its home. A page stuck in pitch. If removed from earth, strength returns by earth and night. If denied entry, patience, until a mouth invites. I made a ring of salt, set my rosary, and laid out the rowan stake I'd cut in Bergen Lafayette when the ash borers came. Clouds rolled in from Bayonne. Not much sun left. I opened it anyway. Soil, breathing, you are not invited. The words warmed the air. The breathing paused, listened, then resumed, deeper. The ledger listed Carfax addresses. Only a church-marked Bergen Street brownstone remained. I scooped soil, and it clenched in my fist. I drove. Straps over the lid, a salt halo around it. Past the empty sky memorial, the skyline's teeth in my windshield. Bergen Street felt older. Iron, brick, doors that had shut against worse. The garden chapel behind the brownstone was bricked like a scab. The ledger's map matched the yard. Boxes of earth once bricked into the floor. Later, carried upstairs in sleep. Rectangles lingered like fossil graves. I set down my fist of soil. It tugged, magnet insistence, wanting the pattern. I wanted to let it. I yanked away. Not invited. Words like teeth. My hand crept, something in the crate crept back. 3 rules penciled. Sun starves, earth feeds, voice invites. I had sunlight, salt, a boat launch, and the widest mouth of water. I would starve it, then drown it. In my mirror, headlights too close. A white van stenciled Demeter Shipping and Salvage slid in behind me. At the boat launch, I rolled the crate down. A van idled. 2 figures watched in mirror shades, faces made of sky. You're not invited, I told the water, but you are returned. I tipped the dolly. It sank too slowly, like a lung. Dirt belched gray ribbons. Then a hand caught the ramp and pulled. Son, I said stupidly, like amen. I pressed the cross to that wrist. It smoked. It did not let go. The 2 from the van came closer. Let it return, one smiled. It has papers. Papers. I took the rowan stick. Not invited. I drove it through the wrist into the ramp. The water went very, very still. They stepped back like I'd kicked a dog. For a blink, his reflection lagged behind his head in his lenses. Not invited. I levered the crate under again. The hand tore loose, no blood, only soil, and sank, stake and all. The river closed like a mouth around a secret. Pause here. Press like if your breath just caught. Drop a 1-word comment. Carfax. It tells the algorithm to keep the salt line unbroken. If you haven't yet, subscribe now. I'll wait 1 heartbeat. The van was gone. Or maybe it had never been. On my passenger seat, the ledger lay open to a page I hadn't left. If denied the earth, it seeks the mouth. I swallowed. Grit. Old coins and cloves. Back at Communipaw, I meant to bleach the dolly. The roll-up was already unlocked. The salt ring on the concrete had been walked through by small bare feet in a circle. A voice memo I didn't record. 3:03 a.m. Played my breath, saying, "Let me in." I tore through rafters and drain. Not invited. Not invited. Once, as a kid, a moth died in my mouth. This felt like wings on the softest parts. My channel would love it. Storage fail. Haunted dirt tries to unionize. Jokes are doors you can choose not to use. I grabbed salt, the rosary, and a liter of gas. I'd end it at the park, under the open sky, with the city watching me be brave or stupid. The empty sky memorial mirrored me in twin planes of steel. I walked between names, cut like wounds. Say mine if I fail. On the promenade, a child slept standing, his mother's fingers loose on his wrist. Their breaths matched the water's lap. Daylight sleepwalking. Not invited. I told their shoulders. They twitched, turned away from the rail. Words are teeth. The van waited again near the ferry slip. I set the ledger on a bench and struck a match. Sun starves, earth feeds, voice invites. Then hear me. I will not invite. I poured a salt line along the bench, across the rail, and where my shadow fell. For a small moment, you fit inside again. Your hands, your objects, the line you drew. The city's teeth look like guardians. Then my phone in my pocket spoke, in my voice. Let me in. I threw the phone into the river. It rang once underwater. Something answered below. Like a whale made of doors. Cloud cover swallowed the sun like a coin. Under the launch ramp, a stake tapped stone 3 times. Talk, talk, talk. Salt ring in one hand, rowan knife in the other. I walked to the ramp. The men by the van watched the water, like a movie that knew their names. Not invited. Step by step. The water lifted something pale that remembered how to stand. Sun, I said again, raising the cross. No sun came, only the coin and clove taste, a hunger bending my knees that wasn't mine. The pale shape stalled at the line. Respect or requirement. The men smiled without teeth. Bushers. Sun starves. Earth feeds. Voice invites. I give you nothing. No dirt, no door, no name. Return to Whitby. Return to Carfax. Return to any mouth that is not mine. The word mine locked. It turned and sank like a decision. A finger of sun broke the clouds and stung the cross in my hand. A ledger flipped to its last page, blank, until ink bled up from nowhere. Mouth invites. The memo, the whisper wearing my breath. I'd been inviting all night without a word out loud. My mouth moved on its own. I bit my tongue till copper filled my teeth. Blood wrote, no. The fan door slammed. Tires shrieked. They fled not from me, but from what was behind me. I turned slowly, like turning in a dream. A crowd had gathered without footsteps, standing, asleep, every face toward me. Their mouths open a little, the way mouths are when you listen through your teeth. They were inviting. I stepped back into my salt. Not invited, I said to all of them. Not invited to the river. Not invited to my mouth. I raised the cross. You can have my things, I told the water. Not my voice. You can have my story when I'm done. The stake knocked once beneath the ramp. Tuck, then quiet. The crowd breathed out together, awake, embarrassed, alive. I swept the salt into the river. I burned what pages I could. I threw the rosary after the phone and let it sink out of my story. Some tools belonged to other hands. That night, in the Communipaw unit, I filmed something simple for the channel. Found ledger, no resale, history lesson. Keep the jokes like teeth, set in a friendly smile. I killed the light. In the phone's black reflection, my mouth kept moving a heartbeat longer than I did. It looked like a simple word. Come. I didn't hear it. I saw it, and then... Not invite.